friends. Hey, Chris Kelly here. It is the end of what has been a beautiful week, and what a blessing. Springtime in Oregon when it's like this is just simply spectacular. It's hard to beat. More often than not, it's raining and not as awesome as this. So to string a whole week of this together is just what a godsend. So. That said, it's the end of the week and time to take a little bit of a look into stats. What's going on here in Portland Metro? And there's some interesting things that I think are worth having a dialogue here about, or really a monologue, I guess. So let's take a look. I'm going to minimize me. There we go. Listing inventory is up. Not from last week, it's actually down a bit, but just in general, listing numbers have been, new listings to the market week over week have been increasing. A month ago, and I've got another chart up, which is why I keep looking over. A month ago, listing inventory was in the fives, new inventory that week. And that's really where it was. And then it was in the fours. So we've definitely had a steady influx of new homes. Pending sales have come up somewhat as well. So just more going on, and that's natural. It's, we're in the heart of spring, so that tends to happen. That's the seasonality of things playing out. This is the thing that's, I guess, interesting to me is the closed transactions. And this is largely the reason that I pulled up the month prior. So, usually you can go back a month and a half and look at pendings and know that, if there was 500 pendings, it's likely you're going to have 425 to 450, let's say, solds in a month and a half. There's always going to be some transactions that fail to close. It feels like it's been exceedingly high, the failure rate. I participate in a professional group, and I've been part of this group for 20 plus years. And we met this morning, and one of the brokers in the group was saying that very much so they are noticing that they have to sell a listing 2 and 3 times more often. And what that means is they had sale fails. People can't come to terms over inspection report items. There's an appraisal problem. I mean, just all the things that create a new point of negotiation or a place where a transaction can blow apart or fail. And what he was saying was, it just seems like people are quick to back out of a deal if there's any form of problem. And I would say that that's probably true. I've noticed that disparity, here, let me minimize this again. There's almost 500 pending sales and only 300 solds. However, can I drag this in? Yeah, I think I can. So you notice a month ago, there were 437 sales, pending sales, and only 300 closed. So I actually went back every week for like the last 2 months and looked over these before I started making this video. And what I'm noticing, and unfortunately, I am not aware of a way to accurately and empirically look at the sale fail rate in Portland Metro. I have not figured out how to pull that data from anywhere. I'll keep working on it, but I notice intuitively that these numbers right here, the disparity in these numbers, and when you go back a month, that disparity continues to exist. So it's clear that there is a lot higher rate of failed sales. And to hear one of my very close friends and colleagues say the same thing very much substantiated what I have felt. We've had lots of, you hear me on here talk about, well, gosh, the market's robust in certain price points. There's multiple offers. Things are selling relatively quickly. That is true. Going pending and closing are very much 2 different things. So getting them to close at some points in the market is harder than others. in 2021, when things were frenetic and nutty and, by and large, buyers were making, I don't want to say bad decisions, but questionable decisions due to the nature of the market, the urgency, and it was just a kind of silly, to be honest, but it forced buyers to do things that maybe they wouldn't otherwise do. Waive inspections, mitigate appraisals across the board, no matter what. Just things that normally don't happen in the course of a transaction, which means that your failure rate, your sale fail rate is going to be far less. So your success rate or closure rate is going to be far higher. So that's curious. It's curious. What that means is there's a lot going on in the market, and yet it's still tougher. Why do you think that is? Well, I think people want to buy real estate, want to move, want to do the things that they're going to do to get on with their lives, as I always say here. But, I do think that people are sensitive to more expensive money and sensitive just to the fact that this whole process is more costly than it maybe has been. Well, definitely than it has been in the recent past. So let's see. This is another interesting observation. The velocity of the market, the pace is increasing. A month ago, I'm going to bring this back. A month ago, we were at 70 and 26 for days on the market. A month ago, we were at 559 and 621 for median and average sales price. Now, we're slightly higher and slightly higher. So this part of things, I always kind of talk about it, just kind of bumping along. By and large, it is continuing to do that. But this part of the market, the pace is picking up. So of the homes that are closing, they seem to be going pending faster. The days on the market is a measurement of, when a house goes live for sale and when an offer gets accepted. That's what that is. So, when a house was on the market 4 days, it doesn't mean it closed in 4 days. It means it got an offer in 4 days. So, if the house had 2 sale fails and both offers happened in 4 days each, it's still going to show 4 days on the market, or maybe 8, depending on if you're looking at the cumulative days or just the days. So sometimes data, the whole point in all of this, data can be manipulated. Data can be looked at from different angles, different perspective. I try to look at data as straightforward as I can, and I try to put it out there as straightforward. When we talk about all of Portland Metro, which is what the stats that I put out are, that is not exactly the same as, say, just Gresham or just Northwest Portland or, Tigard or, just a given marketplace. And you can go, even more granular than that and look at, price point and year built and single family detached versus townhouse condos. There's all these segments of the market that behave differently. The information that I provide is really a broad brush in general in the market. This is what's going on. And I think that that's the best I can do in the short amount of time that I have each week. So obviously, if somebody has deeper questions, like I always say, reach out. Let's talk about it. What are your circumstances? It doesn't take me very long, by and large, to figure out the answers to your specific questions. Certainly people have harder questions than others, but by and large, we can get you answers if you have specific concerns or specific questions. So let's see. Not tomorrow, but the following weekend. We are a week away from the annual shred event. So if you have some spring cleaning that you would like to do, you got things that are shreddable, old tax returns, bank statements, things that you just don't want to chuck in the dumpster or chuck in the garbage bag, bring them by, box them up. Doesn't matter how many of them. We got a giant truck and it takes no time to get it disposed of properly for you. Just a little way of saying thanks. We're grateful for the relationship. We're grateful for the opportunity to serve and to be of help. So that is 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, Saturday, the 26th, right here at our office in the East parking lot. Very well marked, very obvious how to get in and out. So hope to see you on that. And with that, I'm going to get on with my weekend. I hope you and yours are doing well. And again, as always, if there's something we can be doing, reach out, give a call. I'm here for you. All right. Take care until the next time.